Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm doing a lesson on how to get the perfect winged liner every single time. I have a few tips and tricks that I've learned over the years that I thought would be helpful to anybody wanting to perfect the perfect cat eye. Before I get started, I wanted to ask you guys to comment down below or tweet me and leave me questions because I'm going to do a Q&A for you guys, or an AMA, ask me anything, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so you guys have requested that a couple times and I've never really done one. I think I did one maybe briefly a long time ago. No, I've never done one, I don't think. So I wanted to do one for you guys, so comment down below your questions. It can be anything you're curious about, or you can tweet me. My handle is Spicer_Joanna. All the info is in the description box, the link to my Twitter. So you can tweet me, you can comment down below, and I will take your questions and I will answer them in my next video. So, okay, so anyway, let's get started. Okay guys, so a big part of getting the perfect winged liner is the product. So today I'm going to be using my favorite product to do a wing liner, which is the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liner. It is a pen, so it has a felt tip. It's a felt tip marker basically, and it's just very fine, comes down to a really strong point. You don't have to use the one I'm using. You can use any one that you prefer. You can use a gel liner in a pot. You can use a shadow, a dark shadow. You can even use a pencil. So if you wanted to use a pot, there's a couple different brushes that you could use. There's this angled brush here. There's this one which has a flat top. And then there's this one, which is just a fine liner brush. Product, you don't have to use anything high-end. You can use something from the drugstore. That's totally fine. There's a lot of great products out there. You just want to pay attention to the consistency. If something is too dry, then it's going to cause it to skip on the lids, and that's just not going to look good. If it's too watery, then it's going to be a little bit hard to work with. So you want to kind of find something in between those two, just trial and error. Okay, so I zoomed in close so you guys can see what I'm doing. A couple tips I want to give you right off the bat is try not to pull your eye. I know we have a tendency to want to do that so that we can get a straight line. However, when you pull your eye, you're not only tugging at the skin and could lead to wrinkles over time, but you're changing the shape of your eye so that when you're drawing the liner and then you let go, your eye shape is going to change and it's not going to be even. So what I like to do is I have my mirror on the table and I like to kind of position it so that I'm looking down. That way you can really see where the liner needs to go without having to pull the lash line. So you don't necessarily have to even close your eye to see exactly what you're doing. That's also a good tip for if you're putting on false lashes. Okay, so you want to start with, you want to rest your elbow on something, on your knee, on the table, on a pillow, anything, just to keep it from kind of wobbling around. And where I like to start my liner, don't go in for the wing first. I like to establish how thick I want my line to be. And to do that, I start in the middle and I work my way out. Don't even worry about drawing the line. We're just going to do a straight line. So I'm just drawing my baseline. I'm not drawing a wing, and I'm starting in the middle and working my way out. Once I establish that this is how thick I want it, then I'm going to start working my way onto the inner corner. You want to go a little bit thinner because, as you can see, the lid space is larger here and then it tapers down into a point. So that's kind of what you want to mimic with the liner. So what I like to do is just almost touch the liner to my lid. That way it's super thin and it's super easy. And then once we have that baseline, you can go ahead and thicken up the outer area just a little bit, because that cat eye kind of gives that almond shape. So So we kind of want to mimic that with the line. So it starts off thinner, gets a little bit thicker, but we're not drawing our wing yet. Okay, now that I have the baseline done, now we want to do our wing. Now this is a trick that I use to ensure that the liner is always even. You don't always want to compare the lines with each other because almost nobody's eyes are perfectly symmetrical. So this is a way where they always look even and they fit your eye shape. So what you want to do is you want to imagine that your lower lash line is continuing up. So it helps if you maybe hold something here and just imagine that your lower lash line is just continuing out into your temple. So that is where we want our wing to go. And you can see that it's going to be the same on both sides. Even if our eyes are slightly different in shape, it will look very symmetrical because it fits your eye, if that makes sense. So what I want to do first is I want to find that line. Almost imagine you're drawing it right from the lower lash line, and you just want to draw a line. Just like that. So you can see that it's just a continuation of my lower lash line. Where you stop is completely up to you. Just like, however thick you want the line, that is going to be all relative. So however long you want it, a general rule is to not go beyond the eyebrow. So I'm going to stop just a little bit before. And then, so once you have your line, then you want to take right at the point and you want to marry that in to the liner. So you almost want to draw a triangle. Just like that. And then the easy part, you just go in and fill in that area. And that's one liner. One eye, I mean. Switching eyes, I know, is a bit of a struggle for everybody. And what I found is to kind of twist your wrist so that you're doing the same motion that you did before, but it's flip-flopped, rather than trying to work kind of from the outside in. I think it's a lot easier to just twist your wrist and do it that way, and just take your time. And now we have our wing liner that is even on both sides. And I'm going to show you how to take it a step further to clean it up. Okay, so taking some eye makeup remover and a flat brush, I'm going to dip this into the makeup remover. And you can kind of just lightly clean up those edges to make it really sharp. So don't worry about making them super, super perfect, because you can always do this after. Okay, now curl your lashes and throw on tons of mascara. Hey guys, and that is my surefire way to get an even winged liner every single time. I hope this was helpful for you. Don't beat yourself up about it. It takes a long time to master. Even though I've been doing it for such a long time, it still doesn't mean I don't make mistakes or mess up every now and again. Just like if you do mess up and it's all like, smudged all over your face, just tell everybody that, life caught up to you and you've been crying all day. So don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, all that stuff. Everything's in the description box down below. And make sure you comment your questions for me so that I can answer them in my next video.